All right.
Good morning, economic developers. This is Chad, Allie, and Alex. This is a morning show designed just for economic developers. We're going live. We're going to do this 3 or 4 days a week, but we'll wait just a minute so people can trickle in since this is the first one that we have done. So I'm going to get ourselves posted in a few places. Allie and Alex, what are y'all up to today?
Well, first, Chad, you have any fears about being live? I know you're used to recorded stuff where you can go back and
Oh, no, now here hold on. Oh, whoa. I'm hearing myself.
It was
Do you have this open on any other things?
No. Yeah, I had it open. So let's go ahead. Now, what were you asking?
Speaking of,
have you had any fear about you being live, that you're used to all this recorded content, but now you
None
you
whatsoever
can't
being
say
live.
anything
No.
inappropriate.
No, none whatsoever. Live is far easier. Far easier. Tonight, Allie, you're going to the Kentucky Gonzaga game?
I am. I'm hoping that my presence will make them play a little better than they have been lately. Hoping for the win.
So, and the game's in Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. They're doing. It's not the Champions Classic. It's like the Music City Champions or something. And we play Gonzaga tonight, and then Tennessee and Illinois play tomorrow night at Bridgestone.
That'll be a good
Oh,
game.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So there's two.
Yep.
Are you going to both? Because that Tennessee Illinois would be a hell of a game.
That would be a fantastic game, but no, I'm going to sit that one out. Watch from my couch.
You got good tickets tonight?
Yeah. Some friends of all three of ours from Kentucky are coming in town, and we're going to be in a suite and be able to see the action from there with some folks that we all know. So looking forward to that. Wish both of you were coming since.
Hopefully Kentucky can get a win. They need one, that's for sure.
I wanted to go. People who watched some of our shows in the past know that I've been dealing with some vertigo problems, so I didn't know that getting up there in this quick a time was bad. Plus, today is the Mississippi High School playoff football games on television all day long, so I'll be able to watch the television. I've got to do a board training for Hannah Mullins in Metter, Georgia, Tuesday, so I'm going to build my board train. Interestingly, Hannah's the only Gonzaga fan I actually know. The economic developer in Metter, Candler County, Georgia, graduated from Gonzaga.
Wow.
Or is it Gonzaga?
Oh,
Gonzaga.
she's a true Gonzaga fan.
Sure, no, yeah, she'll tell you everything about them. And so it's interesting that I'm doing that board training for her Tuesday, and here Kentucky Gonzaga. Is it Gonzaga or Gonzaga? I don't say stuff right.
I don't think it matters.
I don't. Yeah.
No, I think it does. I think it makes her mad.
I've always said Gonzaga.
I think it's Gonzaga.
Yeah.
It's Gonzaga. So
I'm not saying
I'm
I'm
sure
right.
you'll get a text here in about 30 seconds with the proper from somebody.
Well, I didn't tell her we were going live, so if she sees this, I will. But yeah, so I will be preparing my board training slides for that today. And if Kentucky doesn't win, Kentucky's lost every big game so far. You're going to have to start worrying about getting the NCAA tournament.
The season is early. I'm not worried about such things. The SEC is so deep this year that there's plenty of quad one games to win once they get healthy.
One thing for sure, Mississippi State's not any good at basketball this year for some reason. I don't know why. But I will go ahead now and get us into our show. We wanted to wait a minute or two so folks could file in since it's the first one we've done. So this is the live morning show just for economic developers. I say just for. Anybody can stumble in and see it. But this is really niched and targeted for economic development professionals. 3 or 4 days a week. We're not going to promise how many, but each morning we're going to come on here and talk about what's going on in the industry, from the coaching carousels in the news right now with all these college football coaches jumping around. We're going to talk about who's moving where in the industry, what jobs are opening, who's taking other ones and getting promoted. We're going to talk about where deals are going and other economic development related news. Economic development's in the news now more than I've ever seen it. Every time you turn around, $1 billion projects going here. Lately, there have been some firings of some great economic developers for various reasons. There's all kind of scuttlebutt out there. So we'll be coming on here giving you news and opinions 2, 3, 4 days a week. I'm Chad Chancellor. I'm the co-founder of Next Move Group. That's Alex Metzger. He's the co-founder of Next Move Group. And that's Allie Marie Watson. She is our executive VP. So each morning, one of us will be on here. It could be 2 or 3 of us. We are all going to be 3 co-hosts, and we will go about it in that manner. So if you ever have something that you want us to discuss, feel free to send to us, and we would love to feature it on our show. As we get going, you'll kind of see the things that we like to discuss. So I want to start today's show with talking about this week. IEDC put out a list of 44 new CECDs. New people got their certification, 44 of them. And people go to, I got my IEDC shirt on. I don't know how well y'all can see this, but for this, I got my IEDC shirt on. But what I want to do, it's going to take a minute, but it's worth it, to call off all the names of these people. They go to great efforts to get this certification. It's a multi-year process, verbal testing, written testing, all kind of stuff. So I want to acknowledge the hard work these people have put in. Maybe some of them will hear this, or you can credit them or send it to them, or whatever the case may be. So just this week, these 44 people received their CECD designation. Jude Anderson in Oak Ridge, Oregon. Liz Barber in Stafford, Virginia. Harry Byrack in Everett, Washington. Now, look, I may mispronounce some of these with my Mississippi accent, but we'll just keep going. Michelle Boylan in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Gretchen Carson in Charlotte. Taylor Davis in Rapid City, South Dakota. Sean Donovan in Princeton, West Virginia. Sean Doyle in Hamburg, New York. Kathleen Edgerly in Lansing, Michigan. Curtis Engelhart in Grand Junction, Colorado. Adrian Esteban in Pompano Beach, Florida. Atronette Forbes in Apopka, Florida. Raymond French in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Brian Garcia in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Selena Green in Portage, Indiana. Andrew Hahn in Benton Harbor, Michigan. Jennifer Hackman in Columbus, Ohio. Megan Hagany in Hazel Park, Michigan. Nick Henninger Ayub in Baltimore. Sadie Howell in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Annalisa Kelly down in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Kevin Leidy in Oswego, Illinois. Elizabeth Lopez in Henderson, Nevada. Mark Lyman in Minot, North Dakota. A lot of these places, y'all, we have had clients and visits, and so most of these names or towns.
Know many of the names on there, I know.
Yeah. Nathaniel Martinez in Milwaukee. Wendy May in Winchester, Virginia. Phoenix McLaughlin in Augusta, Maine. Alex, is Augusta where we flew into when we went? No, that was, when we went to Kennebec.
To Augusta, yeah.
Grant Meyer in LaGrange, Tennessee. Alex, LaGrange, is that a Nashville suburb? LaGrange.
I'm not sure.
I
I'm
think
familiar
it
with
is. I
LaGrange,
think
Kentucky, but I
No,
don't.
no,
That's what I was going to say. I know where LaGrange, Kentucky is.
This is LaGrange, Tennessee. I think that may be a Nashville suburb. David Miller in Graham, Texas. Tom Miller in Saginaw, Michigan. Blake Moyer in Surrey County, North Carolina. Another New Orleans, Michael Naquin with the Port of New Orleans. Sasha Nelson, Craig, Colorado. Melinda Osterberg, Madison, Wisconsin. Again, these are folks who received their CEC designation from IEDC this week. Olivia Ott, Monroe, Wisconsin. Nina Rezzi, Russburg, Virginia. Paul Rupert, Charles County, Maryland. William Sabo, Shreveport, Louisiana. I know for a fact William's coming to our Next Move Group Mardi Gras Economic Development Conference coming up. We'll talk about Aramis Tremere in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. Elizabeth Went in Wausau, Wisconsin. Christopher West in Alexandria, Virginia. LaRon Wilson in Cypress, Texas. Ashley Wolf in Scottsdale, Arizona. And Lindsay Woody in Fayette County, Georgia. So I believe there are now 1,200 active CED certified economic developers. I would say across the country, but literally across the world. And so those are 44 new ones today. So congratulations to all those people.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I remember one year they were taking it, the final test in New Orleans around an IEDC conference, and I was living in New Orleans.
I remember
and I invited out a bunch of people the night before. They wouldn't go with me. They had to study too hard. So I know that if you're going to miss a fun night in New Orleans, it's a lot of work. And so we tip our hats to those people. So speaking of the career of economic development, one of the things that Allie does in our company is she kind of tracks who's moving where. From a economic development, not only economic development, but also public works standpoint with the jobs board we have. So, Allie, I know I saw that Josh Schinker was leaving Seguin, Texas, and going to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in there a long, long time, at least since probably 2016 or 17. So he's going to San Antonio, and they have promoted Alora Wachholz as she was the number 2.
Yeah.
They have promoted her to the number 1 role. Do you have any others you want to share with us?
Yeah, so yeah, she was their deputy director, has been promoted, so congrats to her on that. City of Lawrence, Kansas has hired the Johnson County Chamber of Commerce executive director, Susie Carson, so she's moving into that spot. And then a name that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, Jared Smith, who was the economic developer and tourism director for the city of Henderson, right outside of Vegas, has just been named the president and CEO of Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation. And I know that position has been open for a while, so they wanted to be very intentional with who they were hiring for that. And so, yeah, congrats to Jared on that next big step. I think the seat is it's Montgomery County, just below. Baltimore's not in it, but I think it's Rockville is the county seat there in Bethesda, Maryland. So he's got a big.
Oh, it's in Maryland. Yeah, Jared's one of the absolute best there is. He was number 2 in Vegas at one time, and I think Vegas should have hired him as their number 1. Now they have Danielle Casey. She's fabulous as well. I'm talking about 5 or 6 years ago. And then he went down to Henderson, which is in Vegas, and now he's over in the Baltimore area. He'll do a great job for them. He's absolutely one of the best. And we've had a bunch of clients down there in that Guadalupe Valley area where Seguin, Texas is. So I'm proud to see what they have done. I think that's probably a good move on their part. Allie runs our jobs board at Next Move Group, which has not only economic development job, but also public works. I don't even know half the time how many are posted on there. She's selling so many. And yesterday I was browsing around and I saw Napa, California, which I'm not a wino, but you two are, so I know that probably means something to y'all.
Allie, can you find a way where we go visit some of our jobs board clients?
I know. There's got to be an upsell opportunity there.
Get us out there for a visit.
Then I saw Austin, Texas, but then I saw a little bitty town in Wyoming. So I mean, this thing is taking off for big cities, small cities, so on and so forth. So Allie, I know a customer yesterday purchased. They wanted a whole year's. Well, what was it? Tell us about it.
Yeah, so recently we've been doing kind of our 21-day postings in our kind of posted until filled positions, but after the 3 of us met, we recently rolled out, for those that don't know, an unlimited job posting product, which is $975, and you can post as many jobs as you want for a 12-month period. And so, Palm Coast, Florida, the city of Palm Coast, Florida signed up yesterday, posted 3 positions with us, and I'm looking forward to, I do a video for every single position too, highlighting the community, highlighting the position, pay band, things like that. So excited to do those for them, and excited to keep growing the board.
Any of our economic development people here listening, if you need a number 2 or if your city's hiring or anybody in, that does get distributed to our email database as well as being on the jobs board. We do send it out every week, but very helpful if you're looking for a number 2 or 3 or marketing person, BR&E person that does go out to our entire list in all 50 states.
So Palm Coast, Florida is near St. Augustine. It's that's south of St. Augustine. Alex, where the TPC players. You ever spent time in St. Augustine?
I've been there once. Isn't that one of the oldest cities in
the
country? One of them.
Yeah.
I have not played TPC though, so I might need to get over there and do that. I know lots of people that have.
Well, there you go. You just said you wanted to use the job board to.
I got to go to Napa and I got to go over to Sawgrass. Yep.
This is due east of Gainesville and Palatka. Palatka is where that Norfolk Southern and CSX has their fishing camp. You ever done that? I did it one time, and it was, it's great. They have a fishing camp on the St. Johns River, and you can get there that night, and next morning, at daybreak, you get out. They take you up the river toward Jacksonville. Everybody has a guide, and those guides know where those fish are. And you fish for half a day and come back and eat, and it's a heck of a good time. I know CSX and Norfolk Southern both have them. I'm sure others do as well down in that area. Allie, any other jobs for? This week it seems like there's been one new job added a day. So other than Palm Coast, what else is added this week?
Yeah, so we got County of Kings, California. They're doing a Director of Public Works. One that I think that would be of interest to the people tuning into this show would be the Executive Director position for Northwest Arkansas Council. It's a newly created position to kind of head up their workforce development division, but Northwest Arkansas Council has been around for about 30 years. Was founded by the Walton family, Tyson family, and the Hunt family. And so doing a lot of good work there, but they have created this new position, so they're looking for the right person to step into that and make an impact as well. So
Northwest Arkansas job. So they've got a search firm out of New York or something, Washington, New York. I don't have it pulled up. But they advertised on our jobs board for the CEO of the Northwest Arkansas job 4 or 5 months ago. And so far as I can tell, they've not yet hired that position. So we're not doing the full search. They just advertised on our jobs board, but they must have been happy with it because they came back and advertised this one, which is basically a director level position within that Northwest Arkansas regional deal. But I have not heard who they're hiring. They've kept that. Usually I can hear who's going where, before it gets out. I've not heard who's getting that job. So I'm not quite sure. That is that regional deal up where Walmart's headquartered. Great area up in there. So one of the things we're going to do is kind of spotlight conferences that are coming up. Now in December, you don't have a lot of conferences like we do in the summer and spring.
Yeah, we got one next
Alex,
week.
are there any?
Yeah. I was going to say the SEDC YPs are back active again, and they are doing, well, they don't call it the YPs right now. They're calling it the Emerging Leaders Conference, but that is in Arlington, right next to the stadium there in downtown Arlington, next Monday through Wednesday. So I'm sure you could still reach out, and if you have any YPs in your organization. Chad and I actually were the inaugural YP class at SEDC in 2009 or 10. It was a long time ago now when I first got in economic development. Chad had been into a little bit. And Chad, didn't you chair that group when starting out?
I did, yeah. So SEDC, we started that Young Professionals group, which is for people younger than 40, and Alex and I have aged out. Alex, you still go. We're no longer younger than 40, but we started that, I'm on guess in 2010 or 2011. I can't exactly remember, but it was right through there. And we had our inaugural event in Greenville, South Carolina. They move it around, but we had our inaugural event over there because I wanted the consultants in Greenville, but I also wanted some headhunters to come. Todd Jorgensen came, Chloe Johnson came, Joan Jorgensen, I think, came to the original one that we did. And so they moved that thing around. So for people younger than 40, if you're in the 17 southern states, that's SEDC, Southern Economic Development Council, Young Professional
I think there's more states. I don't think it's southern anymore. I think they've got states all over and more than 17 now. I'd have to go.
Oh, really?
I will say that I still have some friendships, very, very valuable friendships from 15 years ago. So if you do have anybody, YPs, or you're a YP yourself, I would highly recommend it, even if it's such short notice you can't make it next week. Some of the most valuable relationships and friendships I have in the industry and in life came from that group. So
100,000%. I've got a group text message that goes off every day with people that I don't know if they were at the first one, but certainly at one of the first one or two events, young professional events that we did. And we all now celebrate each other's birthday and say we're no longer young professionals anymore. But yeah, that's absolutely something great to get involved with. Let me tell you a little bit about Next Move Group, and then we're going to move into the next part of our show, which is going to be Allie going over probably whatever's the latest multi-billion-dollar industrial. Every day there's billion-dollar announcements going on. I've never seen anything like it. So that's what we're going to cover next. But let me first tell you, Next Move Group exists to create economic growth for small to mid-sized companies, communities, and nonprofit organizations. That's why we exist. I grew up in a very small town. Alex grew up in a mid-sized, well, he probably think it's small. I think it was mid-sized compared to where I grew up. And so that is our passion for a reason. We purposely focus on the small to mid-sized communities. We do 3 different things to help. We help manufacturers figure out where to put locations. We do 1 or 2 of those a year. We're not like the big guys like Global Location Strategies that may do 10 a year and do a great job at it. We do 1 or 2 a year because we focus on small to mid-size. We do executive searches where we help communities find economic developers, chamber professionals, and public works professionals. And then we have a variety of products like board trainings. I'm doing one in Metter, Georgia, Tuesday, as a matter of fact. board trainings, video trainings, and so forth that we can do. We're actually starting something now where we help economic developers find their next position. So that's something we'll be talking about over the coming days. But you can check us out at nextmovegroup.com. Probably the most immediate thing you might want to do with us is we have a conference coming up in New Orleans, February 11th and 12th. It's the week before Mardi Gras. There is a Mardi Gras parade, so you do get a little sense of it, but it's before stuff gets too crazy. Where we bring in 9 of the top site selectors from across the country. We have all kind of speakers. We have actually had to grow our event. It's become so popular. This is the 5th time we've done it. So now we have 2 floors and breakout sessions. We're going to talk about housing, child care, crime, incentives, economic development, workforce, all that kind of stuff. So on our screen, there's a QR code that you can learn more. Just put that in your phone and learn more about it. We have a discount, 20% off through the end of the year. But we're almost out of rooms, and we may be out of rooms. I don't know, Alex. Have you checked on our rooms?
Our main conference hotel is out of room for a block. However, we have a spillover hotel across the street, the Marriott. Now, many people prefer Marriott to Hilton anyway, so that might suit you better. But there are still rooms at the Marriott, but the Hilton is sold out.
So if you want to come, for sure, look quick because it's going to be hard to find a room. Now, there's always hotel rooms in New Orleans. That's why we have Super Bowls and whatnot. But you may not end up at the actual event hotel. And we've got people coming from...
Or the rate that we have, because they were very generous with the rates they gave us for the conference. So you can,
we do.
There'll be plenty of hotels around. You just won't be able to get it at the cost.
We got people coming from Anchorage, Alaska, California, all over the country. Maine, Florida, all over the country. So,
28 states at last count. So.
Oh, all right. Feel free to come and join us. So let's go ahead now and kind of get back into our show as we wind ourselves down. Allie, what big deal got announced yesterday? Was it another $1 billion going somewhere?
Yeah, so Google announced from their Midlothian campus an additional $40 billion investment into Texas to kind of build out their AI data center footprint in the state. And so they're moving into the counties of Armstrong and Haskell, which this announcement will make Texas the largest state for AI data centers and infrastructure. To kind of combat that, Governor Abbott also announced that Google is going to be adding 5 gigawatts of power to Electric Reliability Council of Texas's grid to try and remain net positive in energy for the state. So that's by far the biggest one.
Is it bad when $40 billion you don't blink an eye at anymore? That almost sounds like a normal size project compared to 10 years ago when
so when I got in the industry, a $50 million was a fine size project. Yeah, every time you turn around. So Midlothian, I just looked. By the way, there's some construction going on above me. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Midlothian's halfway between Fort Worth and Dallas South. So south of Arlington. And you said $40 billion?
Yep, $40 billion with a B to expand into Armstrong and Haskell counties. So
Texas is deregulated power state. So it may be, who knows? One of the big deals with all these data centers is how you get enough power. But they may be getting it from multiple places.
Well, Google's they've pledged to add 5 gigawatts of power to Texas's grid. So
5 gigawatts.
Mm-hmm.
Google's adding it. Hold on a minute. Google's adding it?
Yes.
So Google's paying for the power.
Yes.
Facebook's doing the same thing at that site near Monroe, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Facebook is adding, I think it was 750 megawatts. I don't remember exactly. So what you're seeing now is many of these companies are having to provide the power themselves. Mm-hmm. So, all right, well, as we sort of conclude, folks, we're going to do this 2 or 3 days a week. It may be one of us, it may be 2 of us, it may be all 3 of us. So feel free to send us stuff you want to talk about or jobs that are open. You want us to talk about who's moving where in the coaching carousel or economic development carousel. Today I've got to go build board slides, y'all. Let me actually tell you, it's interesting. Hannah sent me, she wants me to do 3 hours. I'm doing 3 different sessions. I want to read to you, well, I hit the wrong button. I got multiple Hannahs in my phone. Let's see here. She sent me 3 different sessions. One of them is kind of a state of where we are as an industry. One of them is how all this ties together, and one of them is how to do a return on investment years from now, how economic development makes money. So I'm going to be building those slides while I have the Mississippi High School playoffs in the background. Alex, what are you doing today?
Well, before we wrap up, I got to give out the play of the day. But as far as work, 'cause I'm going to try to get a little work done on Friday before all this football action starts. We are finishing the RFP to send out to AV companies for our Mardi Gras conference. So we're going to send out to a handful of companies around New Orleans, try to get them competing against each other, get the AV costs down, and make that due middle of next week. Other than that, pretty much everything is all set to go. We do have the agenda finalized at Mardi Gras, so you can see that at the QR code, and you might have seen that in our emails going around, but we are putting the final touches on that, so exciting stuff.
Yeah, that Mardi Gras, y'all, we have, if you've been before, we historically had it in one main conference room, and we could only have 200 people because it's literally on the Mardi Gras parade route, and there's not many hotels with conference space on the parade route, so it's not like we can move around. And so we kind of limited it to 200. Well, they have 2 conference rooms, but the other one's on a different floor. So this year we said, give us both the floors, and we're going to have breakout sessions. And so we can fit many more people. And we're over 200 as of now, so it's a good move we made because we couldn't have fit everybody the way that it worked out. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to have an extra day and a half and 2 different floors. And you know what people usually tell me they like most is we move that conference fast. I've had a lot of people say, Chad, I like how y'all do 45 minutes. I hear enough to know if this is interesting or not, so I can follow up after the conference and you move on. You know, we'll do workforce 45 minutes, site preparation 45 minutes, crime prevention, whatever, and then we move on. So, Allie, what are you working on today?
I am working on helping McKinsey finalize job profiles for 2 utilities and engineering executive searches that we are launching next week. So excited to get those going, and selling some more jobs boards. And I will not have the Mississippi State high school football on my television. I will be having the Formula One practice sessions on for the final race of the year is this weekend. So, yeah.
The racer you like was in the news this week. What was it he did?
Yeah, so he basically, 10 races ago, was 168 points behind to win the world championship, and now it comes down to this race. He's 12 points behind and could win his 5th world championship title. And he hands down does not have the best car on the grid. He's just the best racer to get the most out of his car. So it all comes down to Sunday in Abu Dhabi. So it's exciting.
I don't know. That's a good segue. I don't know a whole lot about NASCAR or Formula One, but I am going to give out a bet of the weekend when we do this show. Since we're doing it in the morning, we can't really do a lot of basketball lines because they are just coming out for the day. But football plays, that's something during football season that we can do. So I'm going to give out one play for the weekend for those of you all that have sports betting. And we're going to look at the Conference USA game tonight. So there's not a lot on football with just the conference championship games and NFL having some bye weeks. But Conference USA, Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State. Now, these teams played a few weeks ago, and Jacksonville State won, I believe, 35-26. However, when you delve deeper into this game, you can see that that's not really what happened. Kennesaw State dominated the game from the line of scrimmage. They averaged 6.5 yards per play, 580 yards for the game, but they did have 4 turnovers. Well, 3 turnovers. One of them was a Hail Mary at the end of the game. Can't cut that. So 3 turnovers. Kennesaw State usually does not turn the ball over. This line opened at +1. On Monday, it has already been up to -2.5. So as it flipped through the 0, I would not play it at 3. At 2.5 is probably as high as you want to play it. If you can find the money line at -125, I do like that. Jacksonville State, they give up 400 yards per game on defense. They do not have a good defense. Kennesaw State doesn't either, but it's a little bit better than Jacksonville State. So I think the Owls of Kennesaw State get the win. Should be a close game, but there is still some line value. Hopefully, you got this at +1 earlier in the week, but I would still play it up to -2.5.
You better not be offended, the Jacksonville State people. We're about to be doing an economic development executive search.
They have had a great season. Hey, they have overperformed. They've had a great season, and just being in this game compared to their defense has been pretty impressive.
In the next week or so, I won't say where yet, but we're we got an economic development executive search close to Jacksonville, Alabama that we will be doing. While Alex is focused on Conference USA, I think Alabama might beat Georgia tomorrow. So we will see. We will see. But
they already beat them once this year, Chad. They already beat them once.
Well, see, Georgia don't have to win the game. If Alabama loses, they could knock Alabama out of the playoff. They can't from a financial standpoint, but I think Alabama's going to be motivated to win this game. Georgia couldn't stop Ole Miss whatsoever. How are they going to stop Alabama? Way I look at it.
I don't
think Ole Miss.
disagree with you, and I think a lot of people are missing that angle in the Big Ten game. This game means everything to Indiana. Ohio State's big game was last week. Now, yes, I think Ohio State is a little better than Indiana and has bigger boys, but this is going to be Indiana's Super Bowl, and Ohio State's focused on the playoffs. So I think Indiana might be live in that game. I know a lot of people are discounting them, but that guy can coach.
Now that you've delved us into football, I am not a dog person. I'm gone too much to have a dog at the house. I wouldn't be able to take care of him. Allie's a big dog person. Allie, did you see where Lane Kiffin, that dog at Ole Miss, wasn't
Don't
his
get
dog?
me started on Juice. Don't get me started on him. Poor
Juice
dog.
Kiffin don't belong to Lane Kiffin.
I know he was using them as a little.
Hold on. There's news on this affair. So now LSU is buying the dog to move the dog to Baton Rouge.
Oh my gosh.
Supposedly, so that Lane can pretend to have his dog. Who's going to the poor dog? It's not the dog's fault. Who's going to? This is ridiculous.
I'm sure the
it's
dog is well
one
taken
thing
care
to
of.
do all his shenanigans. One thing to do all his shenanigans with Ole Miss today. It's another thing to involve the dog.
Do you know how much they're paying for the dog, might I ask?
It's going to be a lot. Ole Miss people are very expensive. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, Juice is an idol there, and they were happy to see that he was sticking around. But yeah, I didn't know that he had a fee that they were bartering the dog. So
Well, I'm rumor mongering, but that's what I've heard. But that may not be. But yes, somehow they're bartering the dog that really didn't belong to Lane Kiffin to move the dog to Baton Rouge away from whatever rightful owner's been properly taken care of.
When you say he didn't belong to Lane Kiffin, I've heard this. I mean, I'm sure the dog was very well taken care of, and just had handlers that took care of the dog, and he just played with Lane on TV. Like,
he came out with Lane around. They'd walk around the field for the ball game, and it was all part of rehabilitating Lane Kiffin's image so Lane could go to LSU. I mean, Ole Miss helped. Literally, Ole Miss participated in rehabilitating Lane's image with getting the dog that then helped him,
So you think if Lane was sitting in a yard and Juice was running around and Lane called Juice's name, that Juice would come because, they do have a relationship together? Or are you saying
I don't know. I don't know, but it'll be interesting in September when LSU travels to Oxford to see which side the dog runs to, won't it? Just put the dog out there at Vaught Hemingway Stadium and see where it goes.
All right.
So, but let me get off here. I got to do my work because the ball games are starting. Mississippi high school playoffs rotate where they have them. They're having a Mississippi State Starkville this year, so I got to get that on my television. So let me get off here and do my board slide so I don't embarrass myself with Hannah in Metter, Georgia. Hannah said y'all talk. Hold on a minute. Hannah said she's watching. She says y'all talking about my alma mater this morning. Oh, so she went to Kennesaw State and then Gonzaga.
Wow.
So Alex, you have double offended her.
Well, I'm on Kennesaw State. I think Kennesaw State is going to win the game.
Right.
And believe it or not, as a Kentucky graduate, I think Gonzaga is going to win the game. So I'm on Team Hannah. I hope I am wrong on the Gonzaga front, but Kentucky, without Lowe at point, their offense ain't acting right.
No, Kentucky's missing their point guard.
yeah.
All right, well, y'all get to work. We got to go ahead and get some stuff done. And one or two or three of us will see you Monday morning for our next morning show for economic developers. Bye-bye.
See ya.